Today I'm going to talk about leadership and becoming a great leader. And I'm no great leader yet. I'm studying and working and training to become a better leader, and one day I hope that I can be a great leader. So that's what this episode is all about. In the previous episode, I discussed the importance of core values and why you need them in your business. And I'm going to briefly mention values today as well, because in order to be a great leader, you have to have strong core values and a strong belief system. Also, at the end of the show, I'm going to have a discussion question for you. And one of my goals of this podcast, not this podcast, but of my podcast in general, is to get people to start discussing these questions with each other and help each other along the way. One of my goals of this podcast is to start to get people to have discussions so that these questions can help each other become better along the way. So make sure that you participate in the discussion questions. Also, one other announcement I have before I begin is that starting next week, I'm going to add a second day on the podcast. I'm really excited about it. On Tuesdays, I'm releasing a short teaching on being a strong male role model. I believe that men as a whole, we've dropped the ball, and I want to do my part to help us fulfill our responsibilities as men. So be looking for that coming this Tuesday. I'm going to talk about 9 leadership qualities that I believe are essential to becoming a great leader. And I'm sure there's more, but I'm going to talk about 9 today. Okay, and you're going to have to work on each one of these areas to get better. It takes time and effort to become great at anything, and especially leadership, because leadership involves other people. And the statement says that leaders are born and not made. That's not entirely true. There are some people with natural abilities to be great leaders, but they still have to work to make it a reality. Let's get started on our discovery of what it takes to be a great leader. So the first thing that I'm putting here, and it's not really a trait, but it's just a position that leaders need to be in, and that is they need to be surrounded by great leaders. To develop extraordinary leadership qualities, it's really important to have access to other leaders that you can talk to, that can help shape your ideas, that can help mold you, someone that you can run ideas past, someone that can teach you things. You can have mentors, teachers, people that have already done it and are ahead of you and can help you along the way. How will you learn to be a great leader unless you surround yourself with great leaders? It's really critical that you put yourself around other great leaders. And the way that you learn is that you just hang out with them. It's kind of interesting when you're around certain people that their qualities tend to just jump out at you. There's a saying that says, in 5 years, your income is going to match the people that you hang out with. And same thing with your leadership. Your leadership level is going to be around the same level of those people that you hang out with. So you need to find people, go seek them out. And one of the great ways to do that, if you're not on a leadership plane, if you're not like this big shot, is to go serve someone. Give everything you have serving and making them better and helping them accomplish their mission. I know the ability of serving, and I could have put that as a leadership quality, but I didn't. It's like a sub-quality that's really powerful. Serving. I have served many great leaders, and that has helped me create a transformation. I've put everything I have to help them accomplish their mission, and then as a result, it's taught me a lot about leadership from those that I serve, but also in doing the work. And doing the work has helped me transform my own personal leadership. And even now, I'm still leading and I'm also serving. I'm doing both things. I'm a leader and a servant. I think serving is really important. As a matter of fact, now that I'm into this, I may talk about serving in an entire episode. And remember, this entire podcast is in context of me accomplishing my goals as a business leader, a business owner, to hit my company goals of $20 million. Didn't even mention that at the beginning of the podcast. I should have. It's critical that you know that all of these talks are in context. This is me developing it on my journey to $20 million as a company. I've got a lot of growth to do, made a lot of progress, but I got a lot of growth left yet. So even though I've already developed my skills, I need to be around other people and be with other leaders to help me. A great leader never stops learning from others. They never stop learning from books. A leader is a reader. They always trying to learn and get better. And I can honestly say that I've done pretty well in that area. I'm always around other great leaders. I'm trying to find more great leaders to be with, and I'm always reading. And that actually ties right into the next category. I'm always doing that because I have a strong desire to be a great leader. I have a strong desire to accomplish my business goals. I have a strong desire to be a great husband. I have a strong desire to do what God has put me on this earth to do and to leave a lasting impact. I'm not ever going to settle for second best or not fulfilling my true potential. I want to completely fulfill the best possible potential that I have. Everybody has a different level that they can fulfill. I don't know what my total potential is, but I know that I don't want to leave anything on the table at the end of the day. So desire, that's something that's built in me. I've always had that, and I can't really say where it came from. Okay, and so I know that there are certain things I do to keep it going. I keep my vision in front of me, and that's going to be another category, but I always think of what will happen if I accomplish my goals. And then I think of what will happen if I lay back and I do nothing. If I don't go out and do good, if I don't go out and work hard, if I just be slacking, what will be the downfall? So I always, that I have a natural tendency to have a strong desire to be a good leader and to accomplish things. But on the same time, I do purposely fuel the fire as well. So if you don't have that fuel going right now, or if you feel like you're just going through the motions, I think it's really important to get your vision. And I'm going to talk about that later on. But you've got to have a strong desire in order to do it, because desire will cause you to take action, because you cannot be a leader if you're not taking action. A leader is an action taker. And when you have that strong action orientation, that will help you become successful and accomplish your goals. And so desire is what fuels those actions. If you want something, you'll take the step to go get it, right? That's a great example I look at. If you see that commercial with the cheeseburger and it looks really good, you have a strong desire now. It's been fueled by seeing that image. It's been fueled by seeing that. Now you want to go and grab it, and you're going to take action to do it. You're going to go grab and buy that cheeseburger, unless you have another desire and you want to maintain your health and your fitness and stay at a certain weight. Then you're going to have the discipline and the desire to not take action. But again, it's whatever you want. You got to start fueling it. Another level I put on the list of characteristics is integrity and character. And this falls back to what I talked about in the last episode, where I talked about core values. A great leader must maintain their integrity and character, because so much is riding on their success. You see, someone that's leading someone, or they're leading an organization, a movement, there is a lot riding on what you're doing. Other people are looking at you. They're looking to you. And when you make a mistake, they see it. And when you make a mistake, it can undermine everything you're working for. It can cause a crack in the foundations and cause the entire thing to come crumbling down. So your character and your integrity is super critical. Like, you have to be looking at this all the time. It's essential to leadership. All of the people are looking to you, and when you fall short, it is disastrous. And that doesn't mean that you can't fall short, because no one's perfect. You're going to have mistakes, but your integrity says, okay, if you fall short and you make a mistake, you need to own up to it. That's what good character has. Good integrity says, okay, you admit to your team, you admit to the people you're leading, to your organization. You say, look, I made this mistake, but I'm committed. I'm telling you about it. I'm committed. Let's go move forward, right? You can't hide things under the rug. You can't not own up to it. You can't say it didn't happen. That's bad integrity, and then people will know that you're covering it up. That people can see the truth. They're not stupid. You need to be a person of high integrity in order to be a good leader. And you're setting yourself up for total failure if you don't. I can tell you a couple things that helps for me, and it's having a strong value system, because if you don't have a strong value system, you won't know what right and wrong is, and you won't know when you're falling short. You have to have a guidepost to keep you on the straight and narrow. And for me, of course, it's using the Bible as my guidepost, using the Word of God to keep me on track so that I know the difference of right and wrong, because God is the creator and He's the one that writes the rules, and they just work great. The next thing that's really important for leadership I have on the leadership list is being unselfish. Great leaders are very unselfish. They put the needs of others in front of their own. Because you're in charge doesn't mean that you can violate the system and put your hand in the cookie jar and take and steal from other people, because being a leader is looking out for their needs. When you take someone in under your organization, it's a win-win situation. They work for you and they help you accomplish the tasks, but you're still working for them. You're providing for them. You're giving them food. You're providing a job for them. You're providing a sense of purpose. You're providing a way for them to get promoted. You're providing a way for them to stand out and to do great work. You're giving them an opportunity to be seen in your industry, to get another job, or to even make an impact somewhere else down the road. You're serving them when they're in your business. You have a lot of responsibility, and it's important that leaders understand that they only go as far as their team will go, and it's absolutely critical that they're monitoring their team, they're making sure that they're okay, they're making sure they have everything that they need, and that if you don't need something, you give it to them. There's been times in my business, and I don't think that this is a great thing by any stretch of the imagination, but there's been times when I have had to not take pay and pay my employees so that we could keep going. I'm not going to ask them to suffer first. I'm not going to say, okay, well, we only got $1,000 left. I'm going to get paid. The rest of you guys got to go. No, I'm going to be the first one to not take the paycheck. And a good leader is going to make sure that everybody can get paid, and that that you're monitoring your finances and you're doing a good job there. But sometimes things happen. And when I was first starting out, I didn't have the best money management skills. And so I still don't have the best money management, still working on it, but I'm learning. But I got to put the other people first. It's really important, because when someone knows that you care about them, they're willing to work for you. There's a saying that says, no one cares how much you know until they know how much you care. And as a leader, they really need to know that you care about them and that it's not fake, that it's genuine. I've had some great leaders in my life, but I've also had some bad leaders. I've had some leaders abuse me and put me in very bad places. And I'll tell you that my response to them was not good. Right? And so just because you have a position doesn't mean you should abuse it. And if you're trying to grow your company and to grow your vision, you've got to take care of your people. It's absolutely critical. And then now we're going to move on to great vision. And I think I might have put this a little bit out of order. I think this is one of the top things that a leader has, because you can't lead until you can see. And a great leader can see opportunities that other can't. They see things. They know where they're going. They see the impossible and they make it possible, and they make other people believe it is possible. A great leader doesn't just have vision, but he gets other people to believe as well. And as you guys may know who are listening to this, that faith is everything. What you believe can happen is what can happen, and what you believe can happen won't. Right. And I'll just notice in my own meetings with my team, I'm always telling them, we're going to hit the $20 million a year mark. And I heard somebody repeat something just in passing. He didn't even know he said it. And one of my team members, and he made the comment, he said, well, you sure seem like you believe it, so I guess I do. Right. And so your confidence and your faith and your vision, it rubs off on other people. And that's exciting to me, that now I know that I keep saying it, and now that they're going to believe it, and we're going to see that come to pass in the company. And it's going to be exciting for those of you that listen here to see what happens in the next 3 years of this podcast. I'm trying to take you guys on a journey with me, and I'm excited about it. And it's going to be cool because I'm only at $2 million a year right now, but I believe at the end of the 3 years, we're going to be at 20 million. And I keep telling my workers that, and I'm telling the people on my podcast that, and I just believe it all the way through from the inside to the out. I believe that's where I'm going to go. I'm taking actions to make sure that that's a reality. Do I have control over it? No. I can't control everything in the future, but I'm putting my faith out there with my plan, and I'm building a team, and I'm praying, and I'm doing everything I can to make it happen, and I really believe that it is going to happen. And that's really important for leadership. Great leaders have great vision. People aren't going to follow you if you don't have a vision. If you are wishy-washy and you're just doing your work day to day and you don't have a really strong vision, they might show up to work for a paycheck, but they're not going to get behind it and put everything they have into it, because people want to work for a vision. They want to work for a purpose. A great vision is a goal so large that you need a team to achieve it. You can't do things great by yourself. You have to have a team. And so a great leader will continually keep that vision in front of those that he's leading, so that they will not lose sight of it, and they'll not lose. I started this podcast out by going over my vision, and I have a book that I keep with me, and I've mentioned that, right? I'm doing that to stir the vision. I think that's one of the most important things, because people will grab a hold of it. People want to be of something great and monumental. Just think about it for yourself. Don't you want to do something amazing, to change history forever, to be part of something wonderful? I know I do. History might not remember your name, but it will remember the great accomplishments that you were a part of. Think of the American Revolution, or there's just so many other things, or the Civil War, not just wars, but great achievements, the man on the moon, things that we've done as a team that were amazing. The vision is really important, and I just can't emphasize that enough. And I want to encourage you now to think of the big picture. And I talked about this in a few episodes before, but if you don't have a vision, get one. What will things look like generations from now? What can you do to change your current reality? What's your big goal? What do you want to accomplish in your life? All right, and now the next area here that I have is motivator. And a great leader is a true motivator of people. And this is also tied to vision, because you have to have a vision to motivate people. A great leader will inspire other people to do great things, like getting out of their comfort zone and taking chances. And I think that this is part of the vision, having a vision, but it's more than that, because this is articulating, this is speaking, this is getting people to actually move. It's helping people get to the next level. If you have someone on your team that is a C, you can help them become an A. If you have someone that's an A, you can have them become an A+++, right? It's about getting people from going where they're at to the next level, or the next 3 levels, or the next 4 levels, by believing in people and taking chances on people. A motivator is someone that says, look, I see where you're at, and I see that you can move to the next level. I see the potential in you, and calling them out. saying, I see the potential in you. You can do this. I believe in you. Here's some resources. Here's some resources. My vision is big. I'm going to take a piece of those resources. I believe in you, and I'm going to give you these keys, and I want to see what you can do with them because I believe in you. That's what a great motivator does. And I love motivating people because it's so fun. It's fun to be able to see someone who's stuck and to help them get unstuck. It's fun to see someone go from level C to B. It's fun to see someone who was really in a bad place and now they're making waves. That's just fun for me. And I like my vision and I like being a big business owner, but you know what? At the end of the day, when I can motivate someone to do something that helps their own life, that's really cool. And when they are part of a team and they help our team accomplish something, it makes them feel really good. You can inspire emotion, and that emotion will then trigger action. And it's just like I had said in the earlier category about desire, it's creating desire in someone else. And you use vision and you use a lot of other little tools that I just mentioned, believing in people to get them to be motivated. If your follower has no opportunity for advancement, how are they going to be motivated? Give them something to shoot for. Give them goals. Tell them, yeah, this is going to be hard, but I want you to grow. Give them a clear, outlined plan for growth. As a business owner, it's your responsibility to give someone a path. I know me, I'm a motivated guy. Not everyone is a motivated guy, but when I get into an organization, the very first thing I look at is, okay, what's next for me? Like I'm looking 3 rungs up the ladder. So if I see that it's a dead end, I'm immediately feeling pain. I'm like, oh man, there's no growth here because I'm a growing person. I want to grow. There's a quote I'm going to read to you about motivation, and it's by Dwight D. Eisenhower. It says, leadership is the art of getting someone else to do something you want done because he wants to do it. Yeah, I want them to accomplish our company goals because I want the success. But then when I'm motivating them, I'm getting them to do it because they want to do it. But it's a win-win for both of us. Great leaders have clear goals. That's the next item on the list. They have a plan and define clear goals. They know where they're going, and they don't just wing it. They have clear goals and goals for those that are following them. They set high standards, they raise the bar, and they don't lower it. Too many times people will try to make things easier, but great leaders challenge others to rise up. In setting goals, they define the win. Everyone on the team knows at the end of the day whether they were victorious or not. When you have a meeting, you set goals. You set sales goals. You give them numbers. You give them action items that they must accomplish. This is the standard. There's a level of excellence that must be adhered to. That's really important. Clear goals are guideposts again, just like when we talked about integrity and having those core values. Goals in your organization is a guidepost. You've got to have those guideposts in your life. You've got to set those goals for people so they have something to go through. Whatever you cannot measure will not grow. It's just like when you're losing weight, you have to measure your weight progress on a scale. If you're not on the scale, you don't know if you're winning or losing. Financially, you keep a ledger. You keep your books so that you know if the goals are the money. The measurement is the spreadsheet that's tracking your sales. You win or loss based off those measurements and goals. Without those goals, without the measuring of those goals, there is no progress, there is no success, and a leader cannot motivate someone without goals. It's critical that you take the time to define those as part of your vision. A great leader is also a people person, and this is probably one of the toughest ones for me. The greatest asset for a great leader is people. If there are no people, who are they going to lead? People become the priority. Great leaders nurture relationships, not just to reach the vision, but because a great leader cares. They listen to those that they are leading so that they can empower their future. Listening shows that you care about someone, just like I said earlier. A great leader will launch other great leaders, into greatness along with them. What I'm trying to do is build up as many great leaders as I can around me. That's what I'm trying to do. And sometimes, because I'm so mission focused, I can forget about people. I can forget about having just normal conversations. And this is something that I'm very bad at, but my wife helps me with this because she says, wow, you're so focused all the time. You don't even talk to people, and I got to get better at that. And I'm putting that on my radar. When I'm walking down the hallway, I don't just go right past them without saying, hey, how are you doing? How's your day going? What's going on? In the past, it's like, okay, I got to get to work. I got to go to, make sure you get to work. People are really what matter. We have to be focused on people and nurture those relationships. And the last trait I put was a team leader. Obviously, we know that a leader, we know that a leader is a team leader. But the one thing that they really do is they build teams. They don't just focus on their team, but they have their teams create teams. The entire organization is focused on building teams. Multiple successful teams creates a great organization, and that's what I'm focusing on building. They create teams because they know that teams accomplish much more than what one person alone could do. Teams working in unity is one of the most powerful forces on the earth for a common vision and a common goal. Right now, I have a fantastic team for my business, and I want to help each of my team members grow. And as we look at our goals as a team, I want to get them to be leading teams in the future. And not everyone is going to be a team leader, and that's okay. We're going to plug them into a great team for those that don't want to be team leaders or not really gifted for it. But I want to grow up as many team leaders as I possibly can. I want to teach everyone on the team the importance of their roles on that team. And every single person is so critical. Every person is a critical component, and their success relies on the success of another person. So as you're leading your team, you've got to realize that we're only as strong as our weakest link. I know that's a cliche, but if one person drops the ball, the mission can fail, right? And so we have to get every single person to carry their weight and to do what they are called to do for that team mission. And if I, as a team leader, I have to take ultimate responsibility. That's another trait for team leaders, for becoming a great leader, is responsibility. A leader is responsible. If the team fails the mission, it's my fault as the leader. I can't blame Joe who dropped the ball. It's me. I own it. It's my fault. And anyone that wants to become a great leader has to grasp that. And it's so easy to point the finger at someone else because there's always an excuse. I could always say that Jim didn't do his part. I can always find those cracks if I'm looking for them. But ultimately, I want to say, what could I have done better as a team leader to make sure that those people didn't fail? How did I not communicate properly? How did I not give them the right resources? How did I fail them? If I was a better leader, they would not have dropped the ball. The leader's job is the most difficult because the responsibility is resting on the leader's shoulders. A strong leader understands that. And that was the 9 points that I had, and I probably snuck a few more in there. In conclusion, I want to encourage you to try to be a great leader. If you have the right mental attitude and you know what it takes, you can do it. And I want to say it's good. It's a good thing that you want to do when you want to lead. It's not going to be easy. You're going to have to fail a lot along the way. You're going to fight a lot of battles. But if you keep going and you don't give up, you're going to win. You're going to be a great leader. Your organization is going to thrive. So go for it. I want to encourage you. You're going to do a great work. All right. Let's go ahead and get to the discussion question. And I want everyone that's listening to go ahead and look at the links in the show notes and answer the question on social media. And the reason I do that is because I want people to participate so that we can strengthen each other and encourage each other. So here is the discussion question. Do you feel like being a leader is the most important job in your business? Or is there another task that is even more important than that? Please go to social media in the show notes below and answer the question. And thanks for listening to today's episode. I truly believe in leadership, and I am hoping that I encouraged you today. If you enjoyed today's show, please go ahead and visit us on Apple Podcasts and leave a 5-star review with your comment. I would love to hear from you. Thank you.